YouTube was happening with it. What that get down do, man. Today, on Halloween, we tapping in. The young homeboy, he had got at me and was like, who is OG Big Taco, G Taco? Who is he? What was his value to the turf? And how did I come about meeting Taco as me becoming from the turf, homie? So for me to dig into that and fill in on some answers, I originally met Taco before I was from the turf, homie. You know what I'm saying? I had moved to the turf and shit. And I used to wear like a lot of little blue and shit. I was young, like, falling into like the last years of Highland or some shit. I used to wear a lot of little blue. So I remember he used to like sweat me and shit. Like, come here, man. Where you from and shit? Where you moved from and shit? I'm like, I moved from LA and shit like that. And so I remember graduating from there, homie. And probably going to Crozier and still really wasn't from the turf yet. And I remember they had a Crozier dance, a school dance or some shit like that. And he was like I said, he took a liking to me. So he pulled me again. I happened to walk past his building because he had a spot on beach that was there forever in the turf. So he like, you want to go to the dance? I'm like, yeah. So he was like, told me, gave me permission to go to the school dance. And like, if anybody asks you, tell them I told you can. Cause so back then you could kind of drop a nigga name and shit'd be valid. It wasn't a gang of flunkies, a gang of wannabes, it wasn't a gang of motherfuckers in the way of this gangster shit. So therefore, when you drop a motherfucking name back then, from any turf, whether they was ripping the blood or whatever, essaying it, them names was valid because motherfuckers' hoods wasn't super deep. It was just straight solid motherfuckers. So he had told me, if you want to go to the school dance, you got my permission. Tell motherfuckers, homie. So this is before I'm from the turf, homie. Actually from the turf, I meet this dude, homie. You know what I'm saying? And and so I gravitated to him because that was like one of my first, up there homies, homie. And then once I got more into high school, I had met another OG homie, G homie, TK Wack. You know what I'm saying? He had, kind of like granted a nigga to go to that school because niggas used to be like, who kind of regulating schools? You might have few blood niggas from different turfs or inside these blood communities, and few of these niggas kind of like ran these different schools, homie. You know what I'm saying? With this banging shit, homie. And at that time with the NHP slot, you had the homeboy TK Wack. He kind of like was like shuffling, moving things around that Crozier area and shit like that for the NHP thing, homie. And so was Taco. He used to catch a lot of niggas because he was on beach. He was on that main strip, homie. But like I said, back then, niggas wasn't even grabbing, like just, niggas was looking for pure potentials in motherfuckers. Niggas wasn't just grabbing niggas for some money or because a nigga got a car for this or for fucked up reasons. Niggas was grabbing niggas for quality, street quality, value type niggas that could bring value to the turf community, homie. So, okay, so bam. So that's my connection of meeting a homie. You know what I'm saying? From the turf and shit, homie. And by him being, you know what I'm saying, a Salvadorian, you know what I'm saying, Hispanic Mexican from the turf, made him always like a standout candidate in the turf, homie. You know what I'm saying? For anything. Niggas knew Taco. Niggas knew that nigga Taco. You know what I'm saying? From NHP, Mexican Taco. But before it was just before the taco, everybody know the taco. Everybody know it was a big taco over him at first, homie. You know what I'm saying? Let me fill that in, homie. It was a big taco over that taco, homie. You know what I'm saying? Nigga named Sean. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, white and Hispanic, homie. You know what I'm saying? He was from NHP, homie. He later turned Chino Thresse, homie. I believe Chino Thresse, homie. If I ain't, if it's a homie from the turf that be watching my shit, you can correct me if I'm wrong, homie. But I think he turned Chino Thresse, but he still used to come down to the turf and fuck with, the NHPs where he originally was at, homie. You know what I'm saying? Why did he turn? But I don't know. But we was all young, homie. Niggas was still young banging, but he was banged out back then. So he, it's like, homie, back then a lot of motherfuckers, we was ahead of our time. So niggas might have not been that old or what, but niggas had grown characters, styles, homie. Still was G'd up, dressed nice, like it's a trip, homie. But anyway, so when dude turned Chino Thresse, homie, and kind of, shifted that way, you know what I'm saying? Taco snatched that name and took it off the map, homie. You know what I'm saying? I believe, homie, Big Dulo was like, nigga, you take that shit up to Big Taco, that's your name, homie. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no disrespect to the to the original Big Taco Shine. It wasn't no disrespect, but it's like you doing something else, so the homie gotta fill that slot. So Taco took the Taco name, homie. You know what I'm saying? He took the Taco name, homie. So now we digging into just, the historical history of it. It's like I said, he was a legendary, Hispanic and shit from the turf, homie. You know what I'm saying? And he pushed the line, homie. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just just my analysis on just looking at the big homeboy, homie. It wasn't no walk through the park with that nigga. That nigga chunked him with you say 100% of the turf. Nigga, that nigga had to get down probably with 70% of the turf at time. But I'm not saying 100 niggas, but I'm saying we wasn't that deep. So if you put our figures together, he didn't have to get down because of just on this gangster shit. Nigga might not like how niggas is talking. And niggas get on. He might not like how niggas is talking. So he was pushing the line as well as homies, because at that time, that's how we did. We pushed lines on each other, homie. And I seen he was able to stand up to everything of this gangster shit that goes on in the turf, homie. It wasn't no racial division of a black gang against that nigga. It was just like, nigga, these is what it is, homie. And I remember another homeboy telling me that Taco told him, like, blood, I'm from a black gang, blood. So my mind is just to go super hard like the homies, blood. I'm just going super hard, or gonna go super harder than the homies, dog. This my whole get down, homie. With this blood thing, homie. You know what I'm saying? Blood, he was like, I don't give a fuck, blood, this bloods, homie. And then I love it. And I'm down to go to the stream with this blood thing. However, the homies want to, test a nigga, homie, and however we ride, nigga, I'm going to the extreme with this shit. And this from one of my road dogs, homie. They was kind of like, young ages and just cutting it up. And he had asked Taco this shit. So like I said, he held his ground superly in the turf to where young niggas, we looked at him for leadership, homie. Not saying he was the leader, but he had leader qualities and leader skills, homie. And then he housed niggas, homie. He was able to feed niggas, house niggas, help niggas, homie, outside this banging shit, homie. And turn some of these young dudes into men and shit like that, homie. You know what I'm saying? That was the qualities and values he was able to bring to the turf, homie, within his development and shit with this shit, homie. You know what I'm saying? And the homie asked me, did we ever feel racial when he, because he got stripes, homie, and he could check a nigga, and then if he say nigga, like, how didn't homies look at that shit back then? Niggas didn't look at the nigga like he was doing, like, niggas saying nigga. to be honest, nigga, if you weren't saying nigga, niggas is looking at you crazy back then. If you was like a mixed homie or a white homie or a Hispanic homie, and you ain't saying nigga, like nigga, you nigga, this part of being stamped with this black thing, this blood thing, or this ripping or whatever niggas is doing, homie. So we didn't look at it like that, homie. Like this a Mexican trying to push a line on a black gang, because once we love these motherfuckers. And motherfuckers start trying to kill, because motherfuckers then tried to kill TAKO several times, homie. And homies had to, go to the defense of that nigga, protect that nigga and all that shit. Not saying he couldn't protect himself, but once we get the loving the shit out of one of these mixed homies, that race shit go out the window. We like, nigga, they trying to kill a legendary. This a Mexican. So some of these gangs, we take pride in some of these mixed, these Hispanic dudes that be from the turf, homie. Because it take a lot of heart to really stand up under this get down, homie. You know what I'm saying? When that's just like if a black turn a Hispanic turf, homie, he got to be down and get down and operate everything like the SA homies. He got to be down and function and operate, homie. You know what I'm saying? And the homie was able to. So once niggas be trying to attack your homeboy, it go out the window that the homeboy is motherfucking Hispanic, or the homeboy Asian, or the homeboy mix. It go into nigga, just the nigga, this the homeboy from the turf. This a nigga brother. This a nigga loved one, homeboy. So when he say nigga or be like blood, hey nigga, check this out, blood, and push a line, niggas look at it like blood, that's the big homie, or nigga, that's the G homie. This nigga turned into black. These white motherfuckers from these hoods and these motherfuckers turned into black to us, homie. These niggas is just got a different fucking pigment, homie. You know what I'm saying? So, that touched that topic, you know what I'm saying, for the young homie. And niggas, and the young homie said, was he active? Man, homie, in our younger days, homie, we all had to be active, homie. And then, just me banging with mixed dudes and seeing different dudes from different ethnicities from these turf, they seem to go a little bit harder than some of the homies sometimes. That's, the culture of these turfs, homie. And the homie went heavy, you know what I'm saying? Immediate enemies, they know that nigga, you know what I'm saying? 60s know that nigga, the legends. All the Inglewood Crips, outside Crips, because he done went to county jail. So you could say the nigga like famous from the turf. You know what I'm saying? He done held his own. The nigga famous from the turf, homie. And the nigga done took shells. Me and that nigga both got bust on the same night, homie. He got bust on before me, and some gangster shit that went on, in the streets, you know what I'm saying? He had to protect himself. The Rips got at the homies. Niggas get shot. Then I go to the hospital to check on that nigga and get shot in the parking lot. So me and the G homeboy, we got this history with this shit, homie. You know what I'm saying? And think one more, the homie wanted me to touch something else. I touched, yeah, like I say, homie, that's about it, homie. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, with the legendary homeboy TAKO, homie, yeah, he held this ground in his turf, homie, and he had to carry the torch, because like I said, back in the days, the turf wasn't that deep. So if you had homeboys like Big Dulo, Big G Slim them, these dudes would probably be on county lids and locked up, or some going to the pens or something. And TAKO had to hold it down, out the YGGs or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Hold it down and lace us and inform us and shit, because you gotta remember, he kinda came in like in the early 80s on this shit, like, in the 80s, like 80, maybe 83, 82, 84, I don't know. But I know he been around. He was around before me. That's a G homie. So that's my get down with the homie. You know what I'm saying? I done seen him do it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of gangster ass shit for the turf, homie. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, a lot of us kick these stories about ourselves and our homeboys, just to pay homage where we came from, homie, when we thought this shit was all it was, homie, till we seen the future of reality, homie. But this is history, just like anything we read in these history books, they serve our kids at school or served us, homie. We just telling dialogue and how this shit was, homie. It ain't to like promote new beef or kick up some old shit to start up some shit. It's just history, homie. It's entertainment and it's history. It's like looking at a baseball card and now you can flip it over and get a feel on some of us, homie, on our characters and our styles, homie. So 89 on up, homie. You know what I'm saying? I'm kicking G shit, not ye shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hitting with content, homie, and I'm sharing history. You know what I'm saying? Not letting it be a mystery, homie. I'm out.